WWE All-Stars had some high expectations prior to its release. With the SmackDown vs. Raw franchise getting stale, it was important for THQ to create a game that felt fresh, innovative, and most importantly fun. The game has been compared to No Mercy for the N64, which is widely considered the best wrestling video game ever, and with a control scheme similar to the infamous Aki engine, over-the-top graphics, and a mix of old and new WWE superstars and various game modes, All-Stars is a solid contender. But there are some issues that prevent it from being the best. There are 30 WWE characters in WWE All-Stars with a mix of legends and current superstars. Hogan, Savage, Jake the Snake, John Cena, The Rock, and The Undertaker are just a few of the superstars you can choose from. It's a solid roster, but there are a few major omissions from the game. You won't find Diesel, Razor Ramon, Brutus Beefcake, or Alberto Del Rio here, but several other superstars will be available via DLC, which will definitely irk some gamers who'd rather not pay for a complete roster. The good thing is that all WWE superstars that are in the game look fantastic. Characters are over-the-top action figure versions of themselves with gigantic torsos and booming biceps. Each wrestler also has alternate attire, and some characters even have alternate gimmicks, like the young version of HBK or Hollywood Hogan from the NWO days. The cartoony look works, and the bright streaks of color that accompany signature moves are a nice touch. Graphically, WWE All-Stars has great style. All-Stars touts a very solid control scheme. If you are a fan of the Aki engine from the No Mercy days, you won't be disappointed, as the controls are very similar. Weak and strong strikes as well as weak and strong grapples are matched to the face buttons, while strike and grapple reversals are performed with the shoulder buttons. Taunts are relegated to the D-pad, transitions are done with the right stick, and action moves like running and climbing the turnbuckle are done with the trigger buttons. Signature moves are activated by pressing two of the face buttons at the same time, while finishers are performed by pressing both shoulder buttons when your finishing move meter is filled. There is a deep learning curve, but there's a huge sense of satisfaction once you've mastered the reversals and combos. But the controls aren't perfect. There are a few issues that you'll notice as you play the game, one being that you can't even cancel taunts. If you do a taunt, you're stuck until the animation is completed, which leaves you wide open for an attack. There are also no double team moves, which is pretty disappointing. And why isn't there an option to turn off KOs? Perhaps this was done to keep matches fast paced, but it would have been nice to at least have the ability to turn it off. The animations in the game are over the top and amazing. There are all kinds of punches, kicks, slams, chokeholds, reversals, and signature moves, and each fighter has their own unique moveset based on their class, which includes brawlers, big men, acrobats, and grapplers. Ring entrances in any wrestling game is an important part of recreating the world of sports entertainment. WWE All-Stars literally does a half-assed job with every superstar's entrance. Sure, you get every wrestler's theme music and on-stage entrance, but for some reason THQ decided not to include their in-ring routines, with the exception of the Ultimate Warrior for some reason. Perhaps this was done to get gamers into a match quickly, but if that's the case, do the full entrances and give gamers the option to skip it. Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler do the announcing in the game, and they do a decent job, but you'll barely notice they're there with all the action going on. The crowds are pretty live as well, providing various chants throughout a match. Most WWE venues are included in All-Stars. Raw and SmackDown, both new and old school venues, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and All-Stars Arena are available for gamers to choose from, but you won't find any other pay-per-view venues in the game.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
There are a few different matchups and modes to keep the game fresh, but nothing is all that different from the exhibition modes, besides a few bells and whistles. The standout among the pack is Fantasy Warfare. These are 15 Legend vs. Superstar Dream matches where you fight for a specific title. For example, HBK versus Undertaker for the title of Mr. WrestleMania, Mr. Perfect versus The Miz for the title of Perfectly Awesome, etc. The matches are fights you can have in exhibition, but each match begins with a narrated video package promoting each match with actual WWE footage of both wrestlers. They really set the matches up well and make it feel like you're watching an actual WWE pay-per-view. The Path of Champions mode are 10 matches where you take a wrestler and work your way to fighting Orton, Undertaker, or DX. Cutscenes by your final opponent are sprinkled in between every couple of matches, which are the equivalent to the TV promos you see on Raw or SmackDown. They're done well, but are basically window dressing added to regular matches. Outside of that, you're left with a set of exhibition matches like Cage Match, Extreme Rules, Elimination, and Tornado Tag. But if you're looking for a ladder, table, TLC, Royal Rumble, or Hell in a Cell match, you're out of luck. Another option that isn't available is the option to put a championship belt on the line for any of these matches. Just like in the real-life WWE, championships are neglected in All Stars. All of the offline matches are also available online. In my experience, online is playable, but does suffer from slight latency issues, and it can be painful to just get a game going. The Create a Superstar mode could have been so much more. Yes, you can edit a wrestler's look, but the ring attire options aren't as deep as other WWE games. But that's the least of my issues with this mode. The most important option in Create a Superstar is having the ability to edit your wrestler's moveset and taunts. Well, you can't do that here, as you can only choose from the WWE Superstars moveset templates. The only moves you can change are the entrances and finishers, but even those options are pretty thin. I understand this may have been done to prevent the creation of super wrestlers, but at least give the option to change the signature moves and taunts. THQ really dropped the ball on this one. WWE All-Stars is fun. I love the over-the-top graphics and moves and the No Mercy-like control scheme, but there's plenty of room for improvement. More modes are needed, Create a Superstar needs to be a deeper experience, and online should be more responsive. Hardcore wrestling fans will have fun with All-Stars, but I can see casual fans getting bored of the game quickly due to the limited replay value. Well, that's it for this episode of Sports Gamer Show. If you want more content, go to the website at www.sportsgamershow.com and make sure to like the Facebook fan page and follow Sports Gamer Show on Twitter at SportsGamerShow. I'm Rio Pacino, and we'll see you next time.